Coca Cola is the first one to officially sign Chat GPT, uh, just like a sports team, just exactly like that. Not really. So OpenAI basically is leasing, selling some form of deal. The article I found didn't mention this very specifically, but basically Coca Cola will use OpenAI's ChatGPT and Dolly platforms to craft personalized ads, copy, images, messaging, you name it. Coca Cola just fired their entire marketing department for an AI. Uh, I don't know if that's actually true, but essentially that's kind of what's happening here. They're going to be testing here for sure. So Coca Cola is the first company to do this and publicly announce the use of this AI technology for marketing purposes, which to me is cool. And are we really there yet? What if there really is a version of this Chat GPT out there that the public doesn't have access to, but is that good to replace people already? And that's what Coca Cola is getting access to. Will they actually fire their entire marketing department? I would guess not. I would guess you keep a few people to just double check that the AI is not going Microsoft on you and turning against the world. But that said, how many people do you really need to double check an AI's work? If you've played with Dolly, everyone's pretty much played with ChatGPT or knows about it. But Dolly is actually pretty cool itself in how it crafts images based on just input. You just put a little bit of stuff in, and it pops out a few images for you of whatever you typed in and whatever art style you wanted. So that on its own is a little worrisome, but we'll see what happens here. Who really knows? This thing is missing one of the rubber feet, which is why it's wobbling. Stupid Zoom audio recorder. But yeah, this will be interesting to see what happens. They're going to be able to, create conversational text, basically, images in seconds. I mean, their marketing department literally is gone in seconds. Other than, video would be the one thing that you might still need a team for. But in terms of just regular still images and text, I think the AI is going to do just as good as a person for what they would need in that end. The only thing here is ChatGPT and Dolly have been criticized a little bit for infringing on copyrights and, hallucinating is the word that ChatGPT chose to use here as its bullet point word, is hallucination. Sorry, English. But it has been. Let me read this bullet point. Let me just put that out there. So, generative AI technology like ChatGPT can create conversational text, images, and other content in seconds. But it has also been criticized for hallucinating and potentially infringing on copyrights. So, I don't know. It's funny that it seems when you put these articles in there, ChatGPT clearly goes through them and can analyze them, but it doesn't seem to recognize itself in there. Because I don't think it would incriminate itself. I don't know what's going on there. It just seems a little interesting, I guess. And the last bullet point it really has here is as AIs become more widespread in marketing, how do you basically look for accountability or ethical AI in marketing, just in terms of infringing on stuff like that? How do you know if an image was taken from somewhere on the internet or how much of it was? Just by looking at an image when it's been taken like that. It's just, there's a lot going on there. So for the discussion questions, what ChatGPT has written for us today, and maybe ChatGPT will just become the co-host for this show, because some of these are good and some of these, maybe I should be writing one as well. And then you guys can guess down below. We'll do that for the next episode, actually. We'll do 3 discussion questions, and I'll write one. No. We'll just do 2. I'll write one. ChatGPT will write one. You guys will guess. And I'll try to not make it hard in terms of writing something similar. But so first discussion question we have here are, what are some of the potential benefits and drawbacks of using generative AI technology in marketing and advertising? Well, I think like we were just discussing, one of the biggest ones is that brand new content is that like used from a bunch of other things, which most of it seems to be kind of pulled together from other things and then cohesively stitched together, not completely made up on its own. But that said, the benefits are you're saving the bottom line on marketing because you can just have it create stuff for you. There's no people involved. You just pay a subscription over to OpenAI and Microsoft and say, hey, I want these images and texts, and I want new marketing slogans, and bam, seconds later, you got those all showed up right there, just like that. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, another drawback, I guess, of using generative AI is what we're calling AI right now is more of what I would call machine learning. It's not actually generating anything on its own. It's using context from everywhere else to slam some things together and spit it out in what seems to be, like an AI. But I don't know if it itself is one fully. I mean, I'm not the brightest, but like, I would wonder. So next, we have how can companies ensure that their use of this technology aligns with ethical considerations such as protecting copyrights and combating misinformation? That's rough. I mean, if they would have to allow Chat GPT to give you the sources that it's using to generate those things or give you that information, and maybe like a percentage of how much of it was used. And then based on that, if more than 25% is taken, then maybe you got to give the higher percentage people credit. I think in today's world, that there's enough stuff out there that to a certain extent, you're going to have a percentage that's going to seem like it was copyrighted or taken. And you just got to figure out what the acceptable amount of that really is. Because there's enough text out there, there's enough images out there that people have created, that how much is really going to be shared? Probably a large percentage. So what's the okay percentage on that? I don't know what that would be. I guess I threw out the 25, 30%, maybe somewhere in there. But if all 30% is from one person, that's different, So that bar's just got to be found on what we're going to make okay. The last question here is just what other industries or areas can benefit from the use of this technology. And I think we all kind of know how ChatGPT could really be used for most of this stuff. It's pretty straightforward and easy to kind of see all the possibilities when you sit and think about it, and all of the issues. It makes something like universal basic income seem a little more necessary when you start thinking about what this technology will really change. And especially if we can keep the hardware to keep up with this, then, I mean, it's going to come quick. The transition will just, bam, here, got it.